Gillie to King laying his oldest son, Devin Spady, to rest on Monday. Spady, who rapped under the name Young Cheese, was killed in a shooting at the corner of Masher and Nedrow last Thursday night.
This senseless act of violence, these acts of violence, these shootings, has to stop, man. I mean, what good is it?
Spady is one of 239 homicides counted by Philadelphia police this year, most killed through gun violence. Family friends say the loss hurts even more, knowing Gilly has long pushed people to choose a different path.
He always promoted a positive image and always talked about putting the guns down. So it's unfortunately that his son had to meet his demise this way.
The streets and the internet is buzzing after Gilly went on to Club Shay to talk about the unaliving of his son YNG Cheese, who was gunned down in July of 2023. You know, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. You know, during this drill scene, there's been a lot of gang banging going on in the city of Philadelphia. A lot of cliques, young boys. Cliques has clicked up, and they've been just slaughtering each other, taking each other out. And caught up in the carnage of this was Gilly's son. And Gilly is a guy, man, that's been through a lot. You know, he came up, you know, with major figures, was on the rap scene, coming out of North Philadelphia, you know, well-known, well-respected, well-liked guy. You know, I've sat in the studio with him plenty of times. I know him personally. That's my guy. He since blew up with $1 million worth of game, and they, him and his crew, they, through Barstool and the different contracts he's had, they've given out millions of dollars to organizations across the city, and he's been a very, very instrumental in helping bring the murder rate down. They've been preaching peace and $1 million, giving young guys $1 million worth of game. So it was really heartbroken for the city when his son was gunned down. And he went to Club Shay and he spoke on this. But we heard that there was a young man named Noah Scurry who was also gunned down in January 2025. A 17-year-old Noah Scurry, he was gunned down in front of his mother. He was shot 17 times. And this guy was a star basketball player, had some of the highest SAT scores in the district. You know, he was a kid that was looking up, that was going somewhere. But we found out that he had bodies. I'm talking about bodies all over the city. And when he first was gunned down, the city reported this.
School leaders say Scurry was known as a gifted basketball player and a very smart student. In a letter to families, Principal Melissa Rasper noted that he had the highest SAT score in the school. Students and staff tell us today's incident was felt by everybody in the building.
The basketball boys weren't in the lunchroom. The whole school seemed upset. I saw Mel crying. It was just traumatic.
The principal, coach, players, classmates, peers are distraught. This is unimaginable for them. You know, the student was getting in the car with his mom this morning in the back of his home, and he was shot and killed.
But then we found out the day before his unaliving that he was making videos in a Joker mask holding a bunch of pistols and talking about his exploits, right? And word began to go around the city that this guy was a young gunner, like he was spraying them and laying them down all over the city. And then they finally caught up to him and laid him down. This is what the news is reporting.
Police say Scurry was killed one day after a rap video was posted to social media. And here's a screenshot of it, where Scurry was dressed in a Joker mask and holding a gun. And Scurry was also a victim in a previous shooting in May of 2023. But there is video of this, and I'm sure you wouldn't want to hear me say it. So hopefully we'll get to play the video where Gilly talks about what it's been like and hearing that news and the fact that we're losing our young people and how they're being raised. So I hope that we'll actually play that video because I can say the words, but to hear it from his own mouth is a little more impactful.
Well, it was shocking to everybody.
And as I said, there's been a lot of bodies that's been dropped. You know, 2021, they say that we went all the way up into almost 600 homicides. I know the coroner's report said it was like 570 or 561. But no, the city of Philadelphia said that it was about 570. But the coroner's report was like well over 600 homicides, over 3,000 shot. And that was in 2021, coming after the shutdown. These young kids was blowing each other away. So from 2019 all the way up to 2023, man, it's been carnage. So Gillie and Wallow has been on the ground really fighting to help bring it down. A lot of organizations, my organization as well, we've been really working to actually help save the lives of these children. So Gillie went on to Club Shay, and he spoke about this. And he spoke about why these kids are crashing out. And he spoke about what happened with his son. He went on there and said this.
I just read I saw about the 17-year-old basketball player, straight A student. Am I wrong, Gilly? It used to be like the athletes, they got protected.
Right.
Nobody touched him. Hey, he good now. He gonna be what we, they're gonna be talking about the block. He from the block, he got out. They protected those guys. What happened?
That's who killed my son.
The 17?
Yeah. The 17-year-old basketball player that just got shot 17 times?
Yes.
That's who killed my son.
Really?
Yes.
What was that about?
Well, it wasn't for my son.
Your son happened to be there?
Yes.
Oh.
Them blocks is beefing. They going through it. My son just so happened to pull up in 5 minutes. They come to shoot the block up. My son's not from that block. He don't, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He just so happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
What the?
That's how deep it is.
Bro, he has the potential to get out.
Right.
And he living that life?
No. But see, you don't understand. He got videos out where he got a jerker mask on.
Right.
Bunch of guns in his hand. So these kids is influenced by all the wrong things.
Right.
To shit that don't matter. You know what I mean?
Right.
To shit that once upon a time when I was growing up in the ghetto, I was influenced by.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you experience things, when you go places, when a vacation to you is not going through a tour, you gotta understand, if you from Philly right now, go to Atlantic City and you call them and they say they out of town. Yo, I'm OT, I hit you, nigga, you 45 minutes away, nigga, you went through the soul booth. The f*** are you talking about? That's how poor the city is.
Right.
Motherfucker go to Atlantic City and they tell you, yo, I'm OT, I call you when I get back.
Right.
You 39 minutes away in a car, nigga. What are you talking about, you OT? So you gotta understand.
Right.
That's what we grow up in. These kids don't know no better.
Right.
These kids actually think that you can't make it as a rapper unless you killed somebody. Unless you did something out here in these streets. This is the mindset.
Yeah. Why is the rap, why is that glamorized? Why is going to jail or I pulled that iron out on something? Why is that glamorized?
I have no idea. I told you when I was young, we glamorized the person that was getting money, the hustler. That's why rap names was like Gotti. Rap games, it was always somebody that was getting some money. Now, it don't be about no money or nothing. They'll kill you about an Instagram post.
Right.
You said you was gonna slide, you ain't slide yet.
Right.
Now I slid. Like, are you serious?
Right.
So it don't make no sense. And it's no answer for it. It's just flat out plain stupidity. The only reason why I know is because the police called me and told me once he was murdered. Once he got, because the kid had just got shot 17 times. He was walking with his mom.
Oh.
Murdered. And then the police notified me and let me know that he was one of the kids that was pretty much about to get locked up for the murder, but he got murdered first. So, and then, when you do something in the streets know. So, they all on Instagram and they talk, and then, apparently this kid name was the Joker, and, that's what he did. So, but he had to deal with God, that's how I look at it.
And the crazy part of this, C-Baby, Gillie's nephew, alleged nephew, was supposed to have been arrested now for the unaliving of Noah Scurry. And he went online, posting stuff online saying, I feel sorry for his mama. Then he said, just know they did it first. Then he went on to say, get your rest, Cheesy. That boy gassed now. And this is the stuff that This is the stuff that they put online right after they do stuff. And they were saying that a white Cherokee was allegedly found, you know, after the unaliving. And all this stuff is crazy. And these kids is crashing out, man, over social media clicks. I mean, it's been horrible. I'm talking about here in the city of Philadelphia, bus stops where at the time the kids are getting out of school is getting shot up. We talking about 8 to 10 kids hit, right? And on different days, like it's just been wild. And last year, 2024, the murder rate was cut by 49% due to the fact of a lot of grassroots organizations working to help curb violence. I myself have Urban Nerds and Gillie and the Fathership Foundation. A lot of groups have been on the ground really fighting to stop these babies from killing each other, right? But it gets real. It gets real crazy because Noah Scurry's mother, I guess they had senior day for the basketball team, and her son was awarded some trophies. Now I don't. Let's just look at this part first, and then we'll come right back.
Y'all take a picture. I'm gonna be ugly. There you go.
You know, a lot of times people say, like, you know, where are the parents? Sometimes, man, these kids be in the streets and be doing all kinds of stuff, and the parents don't always know. This kid never been in trouble with the law, never been had trouble in school. He had gotten shot before, right? But he was, by all terms, was a good kid. But he was going to school and a star basketball player by day, and at nighttime, he was the phantom. Him and his crew was going, taking people out. But sometimes it start where one of their friends get knocked down, and then they go knock a bunch of people down. It happens all over the city. A lot of these kids, man, they form gangs and name their gang after they fallen homie. One of their homies get unalived, and they form a gang after him, and then they go just start laying everything down. That's what go on. See, when we on the ground out here, and we out here trying to save souls and save lives, we see it. They literally named their gang after their fallen comrade. And then they go out and just start wilding out, man. And Gillie's son got caught in the carnage of this. You know, and it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing that his son had to die, and then the young man had to lose. Like, I'm glad that they didn't kill that boy's mother because he was unalived in front of his mother. And you know, it's crazy, but you know, not just in Philadelphia, but in cities across America, man. We gotta do something to save these young boys from killing each other, man. But Gillie went on to Club Shay. He spoke about this, man. I'm gonna leave it where it is. I'm gonna cut this video short. If more is said about it, I'll come back. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.